Welcome everyone that clicked on this video. You can call me May, and today is my 2-year anniversary of my YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy to think about. First, I want to thank anyone that has been watching my channel these last 2 years, whether you just found it and just started watching, or you've been watching for both 2 years. Thank you so much. At the current moment on my channel, I have 160 subscribers, which is also awesome, crazy. Thanks to all you who decided to stay and watch my channel. And you also might know today is also Valentine's Day, which I actually kind of joked about in my first anniversary video, that I started my YouTube channel on Valentine's Day so I'd have something to celebrate. Anyways, since it's Valentine's Day, last year for my anniversary I did my top 5 favorite fictional guys, my crushes, whatever you want to call it. So this year I decided to do my top 5 favorite fictional couples. I had a hard time picking a top 5. I had a top 3. My top 2 are pretty much set in stone, and my third one is almost there too. We'll get to all of them soon. But I decided to make some rules for this one instead of doing to make it a little bit both easier and harder on myself at the same time for choosing couples, because I like a lot. The main criteria for them is they have to be canon, which means no ships I just really enjoy, but they have to be canon in their universe or heavily implied as such. For a good example of that second one, somebody like, I have not finished it, either the first or second series, but Fairy Tale, if you've watched it, Gray and Juvia are basically canon, but they're not. I don't think they're together yet. To be fair, all these ones are 100% canon ships. No, they are kind of canon, but that was the rule I set for myself in case I needed it. But these are all canon ships to their respective series. Because I like so many ships. Because I like ships, so I decided to make it, they only can be canon. At some point, I will probably make a video talking about just ships I like in general, whether they are canon or not. And I'm probably gonna make a whole video on one certain series that has like basically no canon ships, but there's a lot of characters I find cute together. But that is for a later date as well. And if you have seen my last year's video of my favorite guy characters, 2 of these might be recognizable to you. So, I am gonna just get into these ships, these couples, these duos. I will say with the first 2 couples on this list, they could easily be changed out. I have some honorable mentions that almost took their place, but right now I put them partially because I felt like it was a fun, different one, and the other reason is because I still do really like them. The first couple on this list is Flynn Rider and Rapunzel from the movie Tangled, or from the TV show Tangled the series, depending on which one you watch. So the reason I put them here instead of some other honorable mentions is because I thought it'd be fun to add like a more, not old school, because it's not, well, it is kind of old. When did this movie come out? 2010. Excuse me, what? Okay, never mind. This is an old one. Okay, I was gonna say for a classic one, but it's not really classic, right? It's over a decade old. I think it would be considered classic at this point. I think they feel old. Anyways, I decided to go with a classic one, as in Disney. I decided to pick my favorite Disney princess movie duo, which is Flynn Rider and Rapunzel. I personally really like both of them as characters in general. Flynn Rider is my favorite prince, and Flynn Rider or Eugene, whatever you want to call him. And Flynn just comes off faster than Eugene. But don't get me wrong, I love the name. The name Eugene is great for him. Maybe I'll interchangeable. And Rapunzel is also great. She's my favorite Disney princess. So yeah, I decided to choose them because I wanted to choose something slightly different. I was like, what couples do I like? There is some honorable mentions that I will mention later that almost took their place, but I wanted to do them because I thought it'd be fun to draw in a fun added different type of series thing. Because there is a couple anime on here, and the other mentions are mainly animes. But I decided to choose this one because it is like a nostalgic one for me. I really liked this movie when it first came out. It is still my favorite Disney princess movie. It is almost my favorite Disney movie in general. Because I just don't know what my favorite Disney movie in general is. Big Hero 6 is also great. But I do really like these 2, and I think they're cute, adorable. I also do really like the storyline of Tangled the series. I did not watch the full series, but that is a fun watch if you like it. I do low-key, it's kind of funny, like funny, but also love at the same time that Eugene is actually a prince of like the Moon Kingdom, and I find that hilarious, but I also love it at the same time. So that means she's like the princess of the sun and he's the prince of the moon. It's adorable. But I do love their story. I love how they tease each other in a sense. I like their banter, man. You can see them slowly falling in love. It's adorable. When he sacrifices his life for hers at the end, great movie. Great piece of movie. Also, when I was younger, I was one of those ones like, why didn't he cut her hair longer? And when I think about it now, I'm like, I don't mean like longer like the joke of professionally cut. I mean like just like litigious longer. But it's grown. Her short hair has grown on me. However, I did change the style of her short hair. For this drawing, I decided to make it a little bit curlier because that's how I kind of imagine it. Because I feel like if they just added a little bit more softness to the hair length she had, I don't think as many people would be like, why didn't he cut her hair longer? But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I like the idea of her having a little curly haircut. So I decided to do that. I will say on some of these drawings, I do feel like the anatomy can be a little bit off. But I tried my best. I decided to draw them in their movie outfits, not any of the others from like Tangled the series stuff. Because it's just the easiest, most recognizable to me. I think I'm going to try, hopefully I did, to draw both short hair and long-haired Rapunzel in this drawing. I also had a little brown haircut piece next to her ear in her long-haired version because I thought it would be cute. And yes, I did do the red twine for every couple because I love the red twine drawings. I think they're really cute. Whether it's soulmate or not, I think it's so much fun to have that red twine in between them, and I decided to add it to all these characters because I thought it would be fun and cute to represent the love. But yeah, I just really like these two. They're nostalgic for me, and I just always have liked them. And yeah, the Tangled series added so much care to them, and I love their dynamic. I am trying to limit myself to talking about each of these duos for about 10 minutes in general, and hopefully cutting them down but shorter than that because I will ramble. I have the rambling issue. But I do love these two. Like I said before, they're nostalgic. I think they're really just cute. I love the Tangled the series, like getting to see more of their dynamic with each other. And it's adorable, I will say. I may not have as much to talk about these two as the other ones, but that may be because I've only fully seen the movie and I've seen just a bunch of clips and stuff from the other. I haven't personally watched it, but I've seen a bunch of songs, clips, videos talking about it. So I've watched a good amount. So I've watched to the point that I've seen enough of the show to know they're great in the show. So yeah, I think they're really sweet. They're adorable. I love At Last I See the Lights. That song is a banger, a certified banger. And like I said, for the drawing, I just drew them in my style, basically. I did struggle a little bit with his hair. I do still think it looks a little bit off, but it's the best I can probably draw of his hairstyle. And their outfits are just their movie outfits, except for I didn't draw all the fancy detail on Rapunzel's because that just sounds difficult. But yeah, they're drawing my style. I made sure she had her big green eyes because those are like one of her defining character traits. I think they came out pretty good. Some anatomy might be a little bit off, but I think it is all right in the end. And this is, I think, the first time I ever drew a goatee on a character. I'm just looking at it now. But he has his little smirk. Even if it's just a sideways smirk. It's not the schmolder, it's a smirk. But I think that's all I pretty much have to say for Rapunzel and Flynn. Do tell me in the comments below which is your favorite couple of these and which is your favorite drawing of these. Whether those are the same or different. I'm curious. So I hope if you like Flynn and Rapunzel like I do, I hope you like this drawing. Anyways, we're moving on to the next couple. Next couple is Flora and Helia from Winx. So these are another two that I could see myself changing, but less likely to change than Flynn and Rapunzel. But again, I still love these two. But these two, I really, really like these two, hence why they're on the list. So me and my sister have watched the only season that we've watched all the way through is season 3 when these two were introduced as a duo, as a couple. And I immediately was like, yes. Yes, Flora has always been my favorite Winx character. Even when I didn't watch the show, I was like, I like the plant one. Maybe because she was wearing pink. But yeah, I really like these two. I like the little shy girl with the slightly stoic, but also a little bit shy boy. What can I say? I will say, though, the scene of the confession scene when she's like, I love you, and he's like, me too. Me and my sister always joke that he's saying that he loves himself, which is just funny to think about. His response was kind of funny, but still an adorable moment, mind you. I love it, man. I love it. I will say though, in apparently the new Winx show, Flora has a new love interest called like Damien or something that is like Bloom's secret twin brother, and I'm like, no, get that out of here. I don't want that. No, thank you. Goodbye. It's only Flora and Helia for me. I can't believe they're going to like get rid of that ship. I am sad. And I know some people don't like the ship because they're like, Flora was the one single girl. We want the one strong single girl by herself or whatever. I am on the opposite. I'm a person that really likes cute couples, so I actually really like that Flora found someone. But also, I didn't really watch the first 2 seasons, so I want to know about how she was before. But can we give it to somebody else? Because I want to keep this couple. Flora and Helia, like I said, I really like them. I like how in the 3rd season, they somehow learned to communicate with origami. I think that is adorable. And how that came into the thing at the end. I love how that's just a random thing at the end. And I've been Flora, like Helia has been teaching me something or whatnot, and it's just a little origami like bird that leads the boys to where the girls are at the end. Low-key, this duo coming in clutch. Also the fact that I don't know what season it was, because I've watched like basically all the clips of Flora and Helia. I watched a lot of clips of Flora and Helia, so it doesn't matter that I haven't watched all the seasons. I still watch stuff on them, all like a good amount, so I know most of the storylines that go on. And the fact that Icy was like, oh, he's strong, is like he shows his strength. One thing, oh, he's strong, I'm gonna steal him, he's mine now. And then she goes and saves him. Love it. But then he gets a frozen heart, but then she's the one that heals it with her powers. It's so great. It's adorable. Funny, but adorable. Also, I feel like every time they fight, it's like very like, I'm gonna say, they try to add drama to this couple that I don't think has the like drama thing, because every time it's drama, it's just one of them like, oh, you didn't listen to me, oh no, they're just playing. I feel like it's forced. I feel like their like fights are forced. Not that I'm saying they shouldn't fight, or not that I'm saying they should fight. I don't care either way, but I'm saying I feel like some of the reasons why they've had arguments is a little forced. I'm just gonna put it out there. I haven't even watched it all, but I'm like, I remember seeing clips and watching why they were fighting. I'm like, bro, that's a little bit of a stretch. I feel like that's a little forced. They're like probably the healthiest couple next to maybe Brandon and Stella. Okay, that is just facts. The other one that would have rivaled them would have been Aisha and Naboo, but he did. Spoilers. For their designs, I did decide to I put Helia in his season 3 design, or his first season design that he was in, because what they did to his hair was a crime. It was a crime against me. I loved his softer, longer hair, and then they just gave him spiky hair, which if they gave him better bangs, like more side bangs and maybe a ponytail, they could have pulled it off, giving him a different hairstyle. Maybe I'll even draw that one day of like, oh, redoing his like basically time skip but not time skip out design. But no, his hair was better before, and I'm still upset they ruined it. Other than that, he is just wearing what he wore in the first season he was in, which was season 3. Just how I would draw it. Even the choker, because I think that is a cool little added detail to him. Flora, though, however, I did change her design, because at some point I do want to make a Winx redesign video. I don't know when. Depends when I get the time and don't have another project I'm like fixated on wanting to do. But at some point I do kind of want to make a At some point I do want to kind of make a Winx redesign video. And so I decided to go for it and just do a redesign of Winx. I decided just to go for it and do a redesign of Flora's first outfit. If I did that video, this would be kind of what my idea is, but I'd maybe also change it at the time. I decided to make the top more like a tulip flower or petals, and the bottom is petals, and then there's more green. By the way, of all the first outfits, Flora does have the best. I don't dislike her first outfit. I just wanted to draw something different and fun. But her Enchantix, I love her Enchantix, man. I love how she got it. But that's not video just talking about floor, it's talking about the couple. But I need to finish the floor design thing quick. I decided to add some more highlights to the end, like sides of her hair, because I thought it'd be fun. And I decided to give her 2 little flower buns because I can. And I realized she had a little hoge or a little hair tooth, whatever you want to call it. So I decided to add that again, but I made it look like a leaf. And then her wings, the top is a giant petal and the bottom is a leaf. So yeah, I do really like these two, as I've said. I think that their dynamic is just really sweet and really cute. The fact that they're both basically head over heels for each other the moment they met is adorable. And they also do have the red string as well. All the red strings do have a little heart shape somewhere in them. But yeah, I do really like these two. I think they're very cute. I love their dynamic. I also just like these two a lot as characters separately. Like, they're my also 2 favorite characters from the show, respectively my favorite female character and my favorite male character. And I believe I even put Helia in my honorable mentions from last year. So this proves how much I like these guys. But yeah, I really like these two. I like their dynamic. Like I've said, see, this is why I limit this up to like 10-ish minutes, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less, for every duo, because I will just ramble and repeat phrases. But yeah, I think they're cute and I really like them. And I'm curious what you think of them. So I hope you like this drawing if you like them. And we're going to move on to the next couple. Next couple up on this list could be a shocker, but also not be. It is a newer series that has come out, a newer anime, or should I say, it is Ogiri and Wintaro from Fragrant Flowers Bloom with Dynasty, I think is the whole name. The Fragrant Flowers That Bloom with Dynasty or something like that's the whole name. But I'm going to just call it Fragrant Flowers from now on if I reference the name. So this is a slightly newer show, as in newer is it literally came out last year. And me and my siblings watched it pretty much when it was coming out. And I love this show. It might be my favorite romance anime of all time now. They are so cute. Rentaro and the other dude, I always forget his name. Rentaro and Saku, you know who I'm talking about, if you've seen the show, are definitely two that would either have made it as a tied raise or honorable mention on my favorite guy character list, because I love those two. Those two are great. But we are talking about Rentaro and Ogiri here. I hope I am pronouncing her name right. I have no idea. But you know who I'm talking about when I talk about her. These two, I love these two. Also, my siblings have read the manga, have told me some stuff from it, and they're still adorable in the manga. We love to see it. Anyways, I love these two, like I've said. They're just so cute. They're both so sweet of characters. They're both like really kind-hearted characters. Of course, I love the first episode where at the end when guys are like harassing Ogiri and like are about to punch her, he just steps in the way, and low-key only gets hurt because he accidentally hits the wall behind them. But that's besides the point. He just steps in the way. He doesn't even throw a punch because this guy's like, he don't want to hurt anyone. But he just blocks the hit from her. Love to see it. Love that. We love him. We stand him. I also love the fact of how the whole like they met thing is. I love that from his perspective, she just was at his bakery one day and he noticed her eating cake. But her perspective, she came in to the bakery one day when she was really down and sad about school and stuff, I think it was. And then she was crying while eating cake. And then this nice man right here just knelt down next to her table and asked her like if she was okay or what was the problem. And then she was like, oh. And then this girl, and then she's like, oh my goodness, he's so kind. And he is just a little kind boy. I love him. But then that was when she was like wearing her hair straight and stuff, like her natural straight hair, and had like a bag on up it. So then she decided to, every time she fell for this man the moment he did this, mind you. So then she would get all pretty and cute and dressed up and go to that bakery every time, just hoping to see that man. Also for the cake, because she loves sweets. Hence why there's a cake in this photo. But she decided to get all pretty and stuff to see him and just stop by the bakery of day. But then like one day, I think she was just wearing like some sweats or something, goes there, is when he actually noticed her there again, and she freaks out and runs out. Love it. Also, the confession scene in both parts, the double confession scene, mind you, or the triple if you want to talk about the first, when she admits to her friend Subaru, I'll call her Subaru. I think like the car brand. Whatever, you know her friend. I'm gonna call her Subaru. It's probably pronounced wrong, but that's what her name is now pronounced like in this video. When she admits to her friend Subaru that she likes this guy, like when they're playing at the park, and friend asks, do you like him? And then she's like, I love him. And I'm like, oh. She's head over heels, man. When he confesses first at the beach, and then just their friends went to go grab more fireworks, and they're just both sitting watching their little sparklers go out, and he just like, I love you. And like, what? And then they're both like red and adorable. And then they don't talk for that for a second, and then she invites to talk to him after at the festival, and then she's wearing her yukata, being all cute. And then she says, I love you, after telling him the whole story of how she basically wanted them to meet again by going back to the bakery, getting all cute and stuff. Love it. And then she said, I love you, and then they get together, and it's so cute. Also the fact that he's like, for her birthday, he's like, she always had all of our cake from her bakery, so he decided to bake her a cake. I love that, man. He decides to bake her a cake. He asks his dad, who is the baker of the bakery his family owns, to help him learn how to bake a cake, and his dad's like, you gotta be committed. So then he ends up staying up late and working a lot so he could bake a cake. It's adorable. Then he bakes her a cake, and I'm like, a man that can bake. Oh, that's so cute. We love that. Also, for their designs in this drawing, I decided to do Rintaro in the bakery uniform, if you want to call it, whatever you would call it. I decided to do that outfit because most of his outfits are just t-shirts. Most of his outfits are just t-shirts and like his school uniform or a sweatshirt. So I decided to do the bakery one because it seemed like the most recognizable outfit for him and the most fun to draw. Also, since most of these drawings are from like a little bit above like the waist down, you wouldn't even see his pants. So if he even had cool pants, it would be barely seen. So I decided to do this one because I thought it was a cool one to do. Did not put on the hat because I struggled to, I hit this, because I struggled to, I'm struggling to talk right now. I struggled to draw his hair when I was quickly making the designs I wanted to do for them. So I decided I'm going to use the hair that I just like drew quick. And so that's why he doesn't have his hat on, because I found that the sketch I did for his hair came out pretty decently well, and I didn't want to put a hat on it. Also, I kind of suck at drawing hats like that. Well, not that exact hat, but like with the like a hat with a bill facing forward, and you'll get better at it. But I had to do non-hat. And yes, for those manga readers, I did keep him with his blonde hair because I like the blonde hair. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the other hair, his black hair, but spoilers. I haven't read the manga, but I know he gets his black hair back. But yes, we love that. And then for her, I decided to do her first hangout outfit, I guess is the best way to put it. When I decided to hang out and study for the first time, when he asked her to help him study, I decided to do that outfit because I honestly was worried I was not gonna get her hair when it was down to look the way I wanted it to look. And she also has so many cute outfits, mind you. So many good options. I almost just drew them both in their school clothes. But then I'm like, how am I gonna draw her hair? Because it is, I love her hair. I love how curly it is. And it's nice and long and pretty. But I'm not good at drawing curls like that. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. So I decided to do this one because her hair is up into a back bun, a low back bun. That's why I can't see it. I still struggled to draw this hair design, but I think it came out pretty good. I also do just really like this outfit of the sweater with the white shirt, the pink sweater, white shirt, and long skirt. I think is adorable. For all these designs that you probably have seen in the things, I did do quick sketches that I will hopefully show for all these at some point of what design I'm going to do for them before I drew these, so it wasn't as difficult for me to draw these. Also, I gave her face of when she's enjoying food with her big cheeks full of cake. And I decided to base the cake off of one of the ones in the show, which I believe is the one that she's eating when they first start talking at the bakery when she comes back after the day she ran away in embarrassment, which is like a strawberry shortcake, I think. Also, I do love a good height difference. I feel like I may have mentioned this before, but I love a height difference, and I think these two are adorable. She is a little bit taller than she is in the series, but my sister just said if you find her just a little bit too tall, imagine she's standing on a box. And she also told me to draw this. to represent that. So have fun with that. Yeah, I really like these two. These are definitely up there for two of my favorite characters in animes as well. I love both of them. Yeah, I think they're adorable, and I am excited to see more of them. I'm excited I need to read the manga. And yes, I know his hand placement for where he's holding the cake compared to her eating it is a little bit high, but I struggled to draw that hand and arm, and it still looks a little off, and I did not want to move it, so I didn't. Anyways, on to the next couple. My next favorite fictional couple of all time is Kyo Soma and Toru Honda from Fruits Basket. I love these two. This is also my favorite anime of all time at this current moment. I love this anime so much, and you may have noticed in the previous one I said that other one was my favorite romance anime, because this one is like a romance anime, but it's also a little bit more than a romance anime. It could be classified as a romance, but it has a little bit more to it than just the romance. So it's slightly different. I love these two. If you were here, a little bit spoiler for last year's video. If you remember my last year's 1 year anniversary video, you may have known that Kyo was actually on that list. He was up there for one of my favorite. I won't say what placement he was in, but he was there. And I will say, this is partially why. It's not that I love Kyo, don't get me wrong. Kyo is still one of my favorite fictional guy characters of all time, hence the previous video. But this couple helped so much with how much I love these characters. I love this duo. I was always Team Kyo from the start. I don't care about the love triangle. I was Team Kyo all the way. And it was definitely more heavily based towards Kyo than it was for Yuki, I feel like, most of the time. But that's just my personal opinion. Also, I will mention here quick that this was the most beautiful ending to a love triangle I have seen. The only one I've seen do it right. And not feel like either characters get shipped. And also, Yuki found his girl, which that chalk scene is awesome. But we're not talking about Yuki and Maki. Kyo and Toru are so cute, man. I love these two. Where do I even start? Their first meeting was hilarious. I do love their from friendship to lovers style thing. I do love that she always liked the cat Zodiac, and he is the cat Zodiac. For those who don't know why there is cat ears on him, and for those who haven't watched Fruit Baskets, there is the family called the Soma family, where some of them are born with the ability or curse or whatever you want to call it. If they are hugged by the opposite sex, they will turn into a zodiac animal. However, Kyo is slightly different because he'll turn into a cat. Who knows if you've seen the Chinese zodiac, which they're based on, is not a zodiac. His is actually more of a curse than others because his true form is a beast, but we will get to that. Actually, we're gonna get to that right now. So his true form is actually a beast, and in the show, he has this bracelet that is in the first year's drawing, maybe also the first year's drawing, to or at least I'll show the bracelet to show you that. But he has this bracelet that if he takes it off, he turns into like this beast thing. And this comes to a moment where I absolutely love this couple. So his mentor, his father figure, takes his bracelet off in front of Toru basically to test Toru, see if she actually cares about Kyo. This is before she actually realized she liked Kyo, by the way, and this is basically when he realized how much he likes her. So his mentor took off his bracelet and he turned into this beast thing. And then as soon as she was shocked. She could have been scared, I remember. Then Kyo ran away as that beast thing, and what she did that not many other people did is she ran after this man. She ran after this beast creature thing, whatever you want to call it. And he was just sulking up on the thing. And she runs up and hugs his leg. And he flings her away, mind you. He's go away, I'm a monster type of thing. And instead of leaving, the goat that Toru is, she runs back and just I'm not leaving you. And no one's done that for Kyo before, but his birth parents, his mom is dead, and his dad hates him. The only figure in his life that was ever nice to him was his mentor figure, and now he has somebody that cares about him as much or even more than his father figure, which is Toru. And then in that moment, he turns back into a human for a second, for a little bit, and then crying, holding Toru, and then he turns into a cat. And when she walks back with little Kyo cat in her hands, and they're both somber, and he has little tears, she has little tears. It's adorable, man. It's adorable. Because the other girl that really liked Kyo realize that she was just better for Kyo because she ran away in fear when she saw that for the first time. So yes, when she saw his true form, she wasn't scared. She was like, that's Kyo. I can't leave him behind. We love to see it. Seeing where he thinks she's dead and is all sad and like kisses her and brings her to the thing. When the curse is broken, he rips off his bracelet and she starts bawling. Yes, there are spoilers for these things in here. I hope you expected that when you came in. But that was so cute. The end, when the time skip, when you realize they got married, had kids, and those kids had grandkids, and you can see old Kyo and Toru with their rings on, holding hands, walking in the garden. And they're like grandparent age. And it's so dang cute. I love to know that these two got their happily ever after. Also, and the only ones in this that is confirmed to be married. The only other one I can think of is Rapunzel and Flynn. I want more. I love any scene with these two. They warm my heart. They melt my heart. And like the beach scene when he just like tosses her over when she's in a floaty. Oh, I love them. And I need to talk about the designs quick. So for Toru, I decided to mix a couple outfits she's had. I originally was gonna do somewhat accurate outfits. Some of these I did, most of the girls I did change like some of them a little bit, but mainly these last two plus Flora. I decided to, her design is mainly just pieces of clothing she has worn, just changing them a little bit. So she has a pink skirt, which is based on the skirt you see her in the last part when they're like happily living like together, and he's now running his like mentor's dojo, and it's adorable, and she moved with him because she did not want to leave him, and it's so cute. But it's based on that skirt. Long-winded explanation. The blue is like based on, she just has had buttons up before, and a color she mainly wears a lot is blue, so I decided to do it blue. The shirt is based on the shirts that she has worn before, except for it's tucked into her skirt instead of over top. But I did do a little bit different thing with the shirt. Instead of being exact item of clothing she's had before or very similar to, it is a similar style, but I decided to make it white, which I feel like she has worn occasionally, but not as often as the other colors. But with a black square on the front of where the ruffle is, so it looks kind of like a rice ball or onigiri, I think it's also called. I hope I said that right. But so it looks kind of like a rice ball because she's, in most fan drawings, if they draw Kyo as a cat and Yuki as a mouse, they draw her as a rice ball because of its story reasons in the show that I'm not going to explain here. But she's drawn as rice ball, so I decided to give her a rice ball shirt. And then she has her cute little pink bows on her head, and it's adorable. I will say the face came out a little bit off in the proportions, I feel like, for her drawing it, but I still think she's cute. Kyo's is just literally a shirt he's worn. I was like, oh, I could do a black undershirt to match her undershirt type of situation. I realized he had a shirt that already had that design, so I just took that. However, I did do a full body of this, which I did do a sketch of like just the outfit design in case I needed it. And I was originally gonna do full bodies, but I'm like, that's way too much time consuming. I'm not gonna get it done in time with like sanity left in my brain. But if he did have these pants on, it would be the green cargo pants from the first like couple episodes of the series, because those are sick. He also has the cat ears that he sometimes gets cat ears when he's really expressive in the show. He does not normally have cat ears, but like his hair just has like spikes that look like cat ears occasionally when he's like frustrated or sad or something, to be emotion. And I like adding them to my drawings because I think it's a fun little added detail. And I looked up what cat ears look like when they're happy or content. Their ears are just pointed up normally, so I decided to go with that. His eyes are the same as last year's, where I do the slit, and I gave him a little snag tooth this time because I thought it was cute. But yes, I love these two and love this anime as well. It's my favorite. First, before we move on to the last one, let's quickly do some honorable mentions. The honorable mentions I am quickly mentioning do still fall underneath the list of canon to their respective series, or basically canon. The first one is Gray and Juvia, which I don't think I've gotten far enough into the show to justify putting them on the list. So I haven't gotten enough into either Fairy Tail or 100 Year Quest to justify putting them on the list, but I still do love them. Next, that falls in that similar category of not have enough justification, is Naruto and Hinata from Naruto. I have watched Naruto the last movie, and that's and a little bit of the first season of Naruto, and that's pretty much all I've watched of Naruto besides like clips and stuff from videos. But I love these two from that movie. They are adorable and I love that movie, so I wanted to put them on honorable mentions. Next honorable mention is Yui and Hinata from Angel Beats. Yes, these two technically didn't get together, but he basically said he would marry her, so they are basically together, and in my heart that means they are together, and they were adorable. The scene where he explains how he would have met her in life. If you want to watch Angel Beats, that's a great show. It's a sad one. It was one of the first ever anime that I fully finished, and it's adorable, and I love these two. They're my favorite characters from that thing. I might need to go watch episode 10 again. But yes, the way he explains how they would meet and stuff is adorable, and I love them. And the last honorable mention, the one that literally almost took Flynn Rider and Rapunzel's place. It was between Flynn and Rapunzel, and this couple for 5th place, but I decided to do Flynn and Rapunzel because I thought it'd be fun to draw, and that is Hori and Miyamura from Horimiya. I hope I pronounced those both right. They're just great. I love that they get together really soon in the series, and also, again, Miyamura was a high honorable mention. He fell twice from these lists because I realized last year he was my highest honorable mention from last year. If it was a top 6, he would have been on there. Now it might have changed a tiny bit, but he still would have been high up on there. But he has missed the mark twice. I'm sorry, my boy. But I do really like these characters, and this show is my second favorite anime of all time, or my first. I honestly will say it barely got beaten out by Fragrant Flowers when this came out, but otherwise this one is also one of the best romance animes I've watched, and I love it. Those are a couple honorable mentions that popped into my head that still fit with the quota of my list, because there's still more ships I like, but those don't fit with the rules I set in place. So we are gonna move on to the last and final couple of this video. Number 1 on this list may be a little bit shocking or a little bit confusing for some people, because unlike other stuff, it's not from like a very well-known thing. Number 1, my favorite fictional couple of all time, and probably forever will be, is Zayn and Kawaii-chan from My Street. It is funny to say out loud. Or Nana and Zayn from My Street, depending on what name you want to use. Or Casey and Zayn from My Street, depending on what name you want to use for Kawaii-chan. Or Casey or Nana, whatever one you want to use. Any of them work. So I will probably have to quickly explain what My Street is for some people. My Street is a Minecraft roleplay series made by a creator called Afmal. I have mentioned Zayn before. He was on last year's list of favorite fictional crushes. He was on the list. Again, I won't say where because you can still go watch that if you want to see where he is. But I love these two. I know it is a Minecraft roleplay, and that equals that it can be cringy sometimes, and I do 100% agree with that. But there is something about these two that I absolutely adore. They have, since they actually got together in the little show series, whatever you want to call it, they have been my favorite ship since then, and they probably always will be because they just have a little special place in my heart, and I've based characters off these two before because of how much I like them. I literally have characters that are basically rip-offs of these two. Like I already said, I love these two. I think they're adorable. It is the cute girl with the emo guy. How can I help but not love that? That is one of my favorite dynamics. I love it both ways. I love the swap of the cute or pretty boy with the emo girl or shy girl. We love to see it. But I love these two so much. They are awesome. There is actually, for those who don't know, there is 6 seasons of My Street at this current moment, and they get together officially in season 5. So, and she's not even in season 4, which is the best season, by the way. Season 4 is my favorite. Next is probably season 5. They get together in season 5, and they're adorable all the way through. They actually don't get together until like late season 5 either, so that's fun. So Zayn is actually a fan of and in the show it's My Little Horsey, but it's basically My Little Pony. So he likes cute things and stuff. And you know who's cute? Kawaii-chan. I really like this couple because the first time they open up to anyone about like personal things is to each other is first, basically. So Kawaii-chan, her actual real name is Nana, and she said the reason she changed it is because she grew up with 12 brothers and sisters, a lot of siblings. She had a hard time standing out because all of her other siblings had talents, but she said she wasn't talented like her brothers and sisters. But then she started reading this book called, it's a crunchy name, but called Kawaii Cookie. and she wanted to be like her, so she started dressing and acting more cutesy to stand out from her siblings and started to call herself Kawaii-chan so she could stand out. And Zayn kind of relates to this, as in he is the middle child of 3. Garth was his father's, like, the golden child of his family, his father's favorite son. Anything he did was overshadowed by his brother, so they start to bond over that little bit of, like, sadness, mind you, sadness. And then she opens up to him about, like, her real name and stuff, and it's very cute, and I think it's great, and I love it. His father, I'm gonna say this, I think I said this last year too, his father, I don't like Garte, screw Garte. He doesn't like Zayn at all. He thinks Zayn's bad, and I don't like it. His mom is great, because his mom loves all her sons equally. Man, respect. Anyways, I love the scenes between these two in the books. There's no books. Imagine if there was, that'd be a cool book series. Anyways, I love the scenes between these two, because after Emerald Secret, which is the 4th season that I love, that Zayn was in but Kawaii-chan wasn't. A lot of stuff happened in Emerald Secret, but I'm not going to get into here because it's about a ship, not about the Aphmau series. After that series, like the Aphmau's year or the episode that's like after the series, he's like down, and then she gives him a hug, and she said, if you need to, Kawaii-chan is here to talk. And I'm like, oh, that's adorable. And he hugs her back, and it's really cute. Also in season 3, which I have not watched all of season 3, I will be honest, but in season 3 there's a con episode where Kawaii-chan just broke up with her boyfriend of that current time. And then she's sad about it, and then Zayn finds her being sad and then asks her about it. And then he's like, oh, there's a difference between liking a person and wanting to be around them than actually caring about them. So that's adorable. And he's like, just be true to yourself. And it's like super cute. And then she decides just to be friends with that guy because she realized they both realized they were just better as friends than as a couple. The scene in season 2 where a kid pulls her tail, because she's a she's a cat girl. A kid pulls her tail, and she, like, they were in like a lazy river, and Aphmau and Zayn are talking, but a kid pulls her tail and he catches her. It's adorable. Scenes in season 5, so I can explain how cute these two are. In season 5, there is them just hanging out because he actually snuck her onto the ship, like, without a ticket. She didn't have a ticket, but they apparently became friends during the off time of season 4 and on to season 5. But he snuck her on to the ship even though she didn't have a ticket, and then she hides in like this giant pink luggage or whatnot. So he snuck her onto the ship, and eventually she got a ticket, but he had to hide her every time somebody would come in. But then when she finally got a ticket, they went to the amusement park that was on the island. Some of this might not make, and most of the probably might not make any sense for anyone who hasn't watched the series. But then they get into a haunted house. And so I want to quickly point out, Kawaii-chan is a shipper in that series. She ships her friends together, like Aphmau and Aaron, the two like main characters of the series. She's like ships them together, thinks they're adorable. So she has ships, and she ships other friends together and stuff. But this is important for what's coming up. This will be the longest segment probably. But so this one girl is chasing after them for reasons I'm not going to explain here. So they hide into a closet together. And this girl was already saying to Question, oh, you should ship Zayn with me, because this girl's obsessed with Zayn. Well, not this girl, but technically this girl. It's complicated, but I'm not gonna explain it. For those who know. But then she's like, when they're talking in this closet, she's like, do you want me to ship you with someone? He's like, where did that come from? She's like, because if I had to ship you with somebody, I'd like to ship you with me. Adorable line. I love that line. It's so cute. And then he's like, oh, Kawaii-chan. And she's like, she's like, I like you, Zayn, a lot. And she's like, you listen to me. And then they do kiss, which is hilarious to think about that this is a Minecraft series. But don't think about that fact, because they're just adorable. So yes, I love these two. I think they're so cute. I love all the fan art. I've seen many fan art pieces, so if there's any similar to fan arts of these designs, that's probably why. I do realize that the actual the art made by people that work with Aphmau does have the little fur in the ears that is white of Kawaii-chan. I almost made it dark blackish gray because I like the headcanon that Kawaii-chan actually dyed her hair pink and it's naturally black, but I don't think it's actually, I think it's canonly she naturally has pink hair, which is kind of sad, but it's fine. I mean, natural pink hair is great, don't get me wrong, but I thought it would be cute either way. But quickly about their designs. So Zayn is the exact same I did last year for the video. It is just one of his outfits just drawn in my style. His hair may be a little bit longer now, and I added fingerless gloves because I think they're cool. Besides that, he is basically the same he did last year. Kawaii-chan though, I did draw her design for the first time this time. I based it on her first outfit, or like ways people draw her first outfit. I've seen people give her the bell sleeves with like a little bit of ruffles. So I was like, yes, I was originally gonna give her gloves. But then I saw those, I'm like, heck yeah, I'm doing that. But I changed her original skirt to match Zayn because I feel like Kawaii-chan totally would wear black and gray stripes occasionally to match Zayn, and I wanted to make a match. In fact, I did draw his full outfit having like a dark pinkish tone pants, so it's like opposite flips of their outfits, and I think it's cute. Some of the accessories under as black to go with that, and I gave her the little pink and black fingernails because I thought it was cute. And I gave her little fangs because she's a cat, and I think it's, again, cute. But she has little black bows and little bell on her collar because, again, adorable. I drew her top in a slightly different way because it was just, most people just draw the heart-shaped top. I'm like, I want to add the little turtleneck, like mesh-ish looking pink fabric. And then she has her fluffy cat ears. She has the pink bow on her tail and her head that she already had. To reference Kawaii-chan in Zayn's drawing last year, I gave him a little pink earring that is a heart with a bow on it that you can still see in this drawing. I decided I wanted to give her a matching earring to him, so I gave her a little heart with a little scarf around it that is gray and black striped. So they have little matching earrings because I think that is adorable. And I still have the headcanon. Underneath his sweatshirt is a t-shirt. Because I've drawn this couple several times, man. This is like my third drawing or fourth drawing of them. I don't know if I'll be able to find the old ones, and they are bad. So I don't know if I want to show the old ones, but if I find them, I might, or if I might not, I don't know yet. So I do imagine under his shirt having the shirt that, Aaron has for Aphmau. That's like, Aphmau is my girlfriend or like whatever. And it's a little face. I don't imagine that, but turn it pink, change it to Kawaii-chan is my girlfriend. And I think it is adorable. But yes, I love these two. Don't know what else to say except for I love these two. I love their personality duos. I love the way that they act like their real selves in a sense with each other. I think it's adorable. And for those people that have been watching, I don't know that season 7, well 7 part 1, 7 part 2, or 7 and 8, or whatever you want to call them, the last seasons of My Street are actually coming out at some point, I think this year. And if they somehow ruin this couple, I am gonna be so sad because at the end of season 6, more stuff happened and Zayn lost a piece of his intelligence. It makes sense here. And so now he calls people by numbers, which is part of his intelligence, which makes it so he doesn't remember Kawaii-chan's name being Nana, which they basically took the one little secret they had between themselves away. It makes me a little sad, but it's okay. But I realized when I was watching the series, when Zayn first comes, like, because he was turned into, okay, quick explanation, turned into this thing called a relic, that so is 2 other characters, but Aphmau used the relics to beat the bad guy, and then they got turned back into humans, so they're all good, but each of them lost something, like sacrificed something for giving her that power so she could defeat the thing. His was some of his intelligence. So he starts calling people by numbers, but when he first comes to after that, he says, where's 4? Is 4 okay? And I thought he was something like Aaron, because Aaron was also one of the, like, people, relic things. Again, this is confusing, I'm sorry. But then I realized that when he's calling it, he called Lucinda 7, and he called Kim 3. So I realized that he was calling them by the amount of, like, letters, I believe, in their name. And you know what has 4 letters in it? Nana. So he immediately asked when he came to, even though he was in danger, is Nana okay? Where's Nana, basically? But it said 4 and 7 Nana, and I think that's so cute. But yes, I think they're adorable. I might need to make a video talking about the Aphmau series in general, because that series, I think that series is really good, even if it's a Minecraft series. I really enjoy the characters, and the story is interesting. Hence why this is my #1 ship of all time, and probably will always be, even if I do technically think some of these couples, like the previous 2 on this list, are technically better, maybe better ships, or better duos, or better couples. This one just has such a place in my, like, heart, in my personal thing, that I have to put them at #1, and they will probably always be #1 because of that. I literally have the cat plushies of them, both variants. My sister has made me plushies of them because she knew how much I liked them, and my brother has made me statues of them because he knew how much I liked this duo. My sister also made me little clay keychains. I did buy the dopey looking keychain plushies that is on her shop. I also did buy a Zayn, like, crew neck sweater Phoenix Drop High thing that was on her shop, and the t-shirt version of that of Kawaii-chan, because I could wear both at the same time, because these 2 are so cute and I love them. I really like this couple. I think they're adorable. I think if you look past the fact that it's a Minecraft series, for those who are a little thrown off from that, I'm sorry, but they are just so cute, and I also just like drawing these type of characters. And yeah, so I really like them. But that is the last couple of this video. So even though I set the rule for myself, everyone had to be under 10 minutes or a little bit, like it could be a little bit over, that one was almost 20 minutes. It was 17 minutes long of a recording, but it's gonna get cut down, so it should be okay. But anyways, those are basically my favorite fictional couples of all time at this current moment. I really like all these couples, and I thought it would fit the Valentine's Day theme to talk about ships, and also then it gives me an excuse to talk about my favorite ships / fictional couples of all time. I love that. At some point, I will probably make a video of just talking about some ships I like that are not canon, or like that are like kind of hinted at canon but not enough to warrant them being on this list. But that is for a different video for a different day. But yes, thank you everyone who tuned in to my 2-year anniversary. Again, it's crazy. I'm hoping to post at least one more video this month, but we'll see how it goes. Sometimes you get busy without even realizing it. Thank you. I want a big thank you to everyone who has watched my YouTube channel at all these last 2 years. Whether you started watching at the very start of my channel or like a year in, or even just like a week ago. Thank you for watching my channel. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy my videos. I hope I can maybe bring back some fond memories of some of your guys' favorite couples with this video too, some stuff that you like. So if you have any of your favorite couples from this video, or maybe just your favorite fictional couple in general, I'm curious to know if you want to tell. Don't know what else to say except for thank you for everyone who has watched at all my videos these last 2 years. Thank you so much for all the support and all the sweet comments over the years. I appreciate them all. So yeah, that's all I think I really have to say for this video. I hope I'll see you at least one more time this month. But thank you so much everyone who watched this video, especially those who watch it all the way through. And I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye!